Welcome back to Ox Tools. I'm Tom. So we got another Meatloaf here. Our usual mix of subjects. Got a fairly wide variety this time. This is number 32, I think. So I went to a kind of a moving sale, a shop moving sale. A guy I met, I don't know, a year or so ago is moving his. He has a lamp. Metal lamp and fixture company that he's moving to Colorado. Anyway, he called me up and said, "Hey, listen, I got some stuff here that I thought I could move, but I can't move it. And anyway, would you like to come out and take a look at it?" And I said, "Yeah, sure, I'll come out." And anyway, I went and visited him, and I, true to form, I bought a few things, and we're going to look at some of that stuff. I also bought a machine from him, and I think we're just going to leave that as a little surprise. When I go to pick it up, we'll just make a whole separate video of that, picking that up and kind of going over the machine once it's here in the shop. So it's a small machine, so I should be able to move it in the next couple of weeks or something like that, and get it over here, and you guys can check that out, and we'll figure out how to make it go and have some fun with it. So got some viewer appreciation stuff, some absolutely fantastic stuff, and some people really kind of went all out and to show their appreciation for the channel and what we're doing here with this YouTube metalworking community that we're making, that we're building up. Anyway, we're gonna take a look at that. I got a couple of special guests coming over. They're going to help me do some stuff, and they got a little cast iron repair job that they need a little bit of help with too. So let's get an apron on and let's get cracking here.
My guts in
Yeah, watch those gut shots. All right, yeah, I'm filming. So we had some visitors here in the shop today. We're hanging a sign up here, and that's not bad. At least with some room at the bottom there.
Or do you want to go all the way to the trailer?
Slide up to the top to see what it looks like here. No, I think I like it down. Bring it down. A little more. Hey, I'm going to use your hammer.
There you go.
It was the closest once.
You want it up higher?
That's nice. Take the weight off you older guys, you know. All right, Chuck. Where's your scale, Chuck?
Where's my scale?
Measure that thing.
I need a scale.
Oh yeah, I live here. Let me get one for you. Okay. We got a level close by here. Can you get it in there? Oh, so you know what? No, they're a different one.
You got a different one?
I think they do. Somewhere close. Now it's too fancy.
You go off that line right there.
Here.
It's a little too critical.
Where's the screws? Ah, perfect. You like that?
Yep.
Alright. All good? Yeah, vertically challenged here.
See, better than I should have went quicker on the first.
Oh, fuck, look at that.
Does it look good back there?
The quality control says it's off a little bit.
You moved it.
You held it wrong.
Good, nail it? It's going to drive you nuts.
It's so close.
That's why I moved it.
Look at that
Let's
line.
see.
It's right off that. Oh, that side over
I
there.
don't know, we'll let the viewership comment on it. What do you think, guys? I think it's crookeder than a dog's hind leg.
What's the level? What's the level say, Josh?
No, we're all right.
It is.
So if that was your kitchen, would you accept that?
Yeah, you don't see my house.
All right,
So, take that one out. I'm gonna move it over.
So I shamed you into it.
So you should move. And lift this up to that tight, but it will move.
I gotta do both. Now I gotta do a half a hole or something.
We're good. Where's Stan? I need Stan here. Control
Look at that.
Mr. Control Mr. Wizard.
Freaking mile up.
He just moves it again, damn it.
It's okay?
It's okay. Good. Yeah.
All right. Phew. Look at that.
Just sit up. You took my drill press license away.
That's not the drill press.
Well, what?
Yeah, just put one on each shoulder. Yeah, somewhere in there. Yeah. All right.
You got the champagne? Yeah, Chris and this puppy.
So this is a gift from a viewer. This is from Tom Zilickman from Inspiration Metalworks. I sent him some logo files, and he's got a plasma cam set up, and he cut this out for me, and then did a nice patinization on it, and it's wonderful. And the wood's showing through. It looks pretty cool. And I took down the decimal equivalent chart just to make room for it, but I like it. Looks pretty good. So I got a little bit more room to hang some more goodies down below it, and it should show up in some of the video shots. So how's that look?
It looks good. It looks really good.
Yeah, I like it. All right, well, thank you very much, Tom. That is an awesome gift, and he's in North Carolina, Fuquay Varina, North Carolina. So if you need any metal work, check out Inspiration Metalworks in North Carolina. So thank you very much, Tom. Okay, so we got this little cast iron bit we're going to fix for Uncle Dave, and it's off of a disc sander, and had a little accident there. So what we're going to do is we're going to prep this and V this out for welding. But the trick here is we have this kind of registration surface here with the brake, and we don't want to lose all of that. We want to V it out deep enough that we can get a good solid weld in there, but not so far that we lose our accurate registration. So looking at this, I think I'm gonna go for it on the belt sander a little bit, or maybe on a little mini grinder. I don't know, and then we'll get that all V'd out, and then we'll come back and preheat this and do a little welding on it. All right, so we're all set up here. We're gonna get a little hearing protection on here, and then we're gonna do a little V'ing here so we can get a good penetration on the weld. We're just going to use a little 4-inch mini grinder here to take this down. It's got a bunch of angles on it, so I decided not to do it on the belt sander. But let's do a little bit. All right, so you can see I V'd that out pretty well. but I've left some of this surface in here so that my other bit will still clock in there and register. Okay, so it's kind of like it's a tooth, so that it can find the correct alignment, because it's not bent, it just snapped off. So all right, so that looks not bad. I'll probably do a little bit more, and then I'll do this other piece here. So okay, so we got the grinding done there, and you can see I ground down and pretty far. I still got to leave a little bit there so I can help line it up, but it goes together pretty good. And then we'll clamp it to the table or a block underneath the table or something like that, or underneath the part, to get it lined up, and then we can get some tacks on it. And then we'll weld on one side, and then we'll go back in and do some back gouging on it to dig in a little bit deeper on the where it needs to be welded, so we can get as much weld in there as possible. So okay, so we got it tacked up here, or not tacked, clamped up, I should say, and we're registering on the bottom here. We're gonna warm this up with a torch a little bit. Chuck's wheeling the torch over here eventually. You need a hand with that there, buddy?
I don't have my license with me.
Okay. Yeah, back it up a little bit. Yeah, we don't need it that close. Yeah, that's good. Thanks. And we're going to warm this up, and then we'll get some tacks on it, and then we'll get in there with a cutting disc and dig down a little bit deeper once we got some good solid tacks on there. So let's warm her up. All right, so let's warm this monkey up here a little bit. Stand clear. I'm getting a little oil smoke. That's probably about what I want. Yeah, let's go with that. Tacked it in a spot that I'm actually going to go back and V out a little bit too, so and you always listen to cast iron, because if it starts pinging and popping at you, you know you got a problem. Alright, let's get another one there. gouging on the sides, and I'll look at it and see which other side I want to gouge on. So, all right, so we went back and V'd that a little bit, and now we're gonna get some good solid welds in that. This is just a hand rest here. I don't think I mentioned it before, but this is this nickel 99 rod here. Piece is still nice and warm. Go ahead and fill that one up a little bit. So what we're doing here is, by welding on the edge like this, I'm getting some strength into the joint in a direction that tends to keep the joint straight. So the contraction forces from this weld are really pulling it this way, and it's not pulling it out of alignment, okay? So if we get a little bit of strength in it in any direction, we want to try to get it in a non-distorting direction initially, and then work on the more distorting directions like this one. So as this weld contracts, it wants to pull up like that. So we'll probably, I don't know, what are we going to do now? Yeah, probably going to clamp it down hard on the table, do some welding here, then come back in and gouge in the back, and then weld that up then. And this thing's getting pretty hot. So. Okay, so the first one here, these showed up in the mail the other day, and these are from John Marcus at PTC Instruments. So he's contributing to my hammer delinquency, and these are a couple of cute little ball peen and a little soft face hammer. And I've already used this one actually. It's kind of nice for doing those little indicating jobs. It doesn't have a lot of weight to it, and it's got a soft face on it. And I'm not sure what this material is. I think it's a polyester material, but I'm not positive. I'll have to look this one up. This one's a Stanley, and it's a cute little guy. And then we got a little, I don't know, that's a 2-ounce hammer or something like that. It doesn't say the weight on it, but it's a Williams. And I've mentioned this before, is that's the peen end there, and you can see that that's not particularly spherical. So I think John may have actually shined that up for me. I don't know if it comes that way or not, but I think that he polished the knob on that one a little bit and shined it up. Anyway, John, thank you very much. Those are nice. Like I said, I've already used this one, and it's just got a good little weight to it, and it's nice and small for doing some of that little fussy indicating work. So that's a nice little addition to the hammer family there. Thank you. Okay, so somebody, Paul Bolle sent me this hammer a while back, and I think I commented in my video. I said, "Wow, that's a friendly looking hammer." Okay, it has a nice polished face, and this is a goldsmith's or silversmith's or jewelry maker's hammer, which typically they have these kind of bulbous handles a little bit because of the way they tap. They rock in their palm a little bit differently than a normal a normal hammer practitioner. So I mentioned that this was a friendly hammer. So somebody commented, and I think it was Joe, commented. He says, "Oh, well, if that's a friendly hammer, what's a mean hammer look like?" So I thought I would illustrate what a mean hammer looks like, and our buddy Chuck happened to drop one off, and so this would be one example of a mean hammer. Okay, and you can see this thing's pretty rough, and I think he showed this on a video at one point, and somebody said, "Hey, that might be a wrought iron hammer," and I might have to agree with that, and we may spark test it and see, but just the way that's mushroomed there, this hammer is not particularly hard. And so now this is when you get into trouble when a hammer's mushroomed this far, is a piece will fragment off and then potentially can hit you in the eye or whatever, right? So that's a mean hammer. That's a friendly hammer. Okay, so I'm going to show you another example of a mean hammer, and so here's another mean hammer. So you can see the difference here. I think it's fairly clear. This is actually a hot cut here, a blacksmith hammer, and it's meant to be used kind of like that. And looks like I was doing something with sheetrock with that. I don't know quite what I was doing there. I don't recall, but I kind of dug this out, and that also qualifies as a mean hammer. Okay, so friendly hammers, mean hammers. Okay, so these are let's see, what do we want to call it? So these guys, they live down near the railroad tracks here, and you're scared to cross the railroad tracks when these guys are hanging around, and then these guys are the guys that are on the I don't know, up in the hills in the neighborhood there. So I don't know. Anyway, so mean, friendly. All right. Okay, so this next one here comes to us from Kevin Sharp, and Kevin's a viewer, and he's in Maryland, and he sent me another little hammer here, and it's kind of a joke hammer. I guess he got this at a show or something like that, and he thought it was funny, so he would send it along. He calls it a quasi hammer. He went to some show and checked it out, and was wandering around, and I guess they were giving out free samples. So he sent me some. I'm not going to read this whole thing, but he sent me some suggestions for some video ideas, and he got started in machining. He met a guy, a retired Navy machinist, gave him a machinist handbook and a last word indicator, so he kind of got his start doing that. Anyway, Kevin, thank you very much for the cute little gift there. We'll put it in the hammer collection, and I don't know if we'll sharpen it. I think we're just going to keep it the way it is. Anyway, thanks, Kevin. Okay, so the next thing is some of this stuff that I got at this friend of mine's closing a shop, or a guy I met is closing a shop, and he called me up and asked me if I wanted to come out and look, and so I did, and typical me, I bought a few things, and can't avoid it. This one here, I'm going to set that aside because that's kind of a separate discussion. So I picked up a little sign bar, got some taper shank drills here. These are kind of nice because they're relatively short. 1 and 11/64, and then I think this is 1.5 inches here, 1.5 inches, yeah, high speed. So those are nice. And then they have a 4 Morse taper, which fits my lathe real good. Anyway, the sine bar is kind of neat. It's a nice size, it's 5-inch. And if I had to guess, I would say that this was somebody's project that they made. And it's not a commercial one. It doesn't have any maker's marks on it. And what gives it away for me is the box. Okay? And the box has the look of a machinist went in there and machined that pocket into the wood, not a woodworker. Okay? So in a commercial operation, they'd have a wood shop that made the boxes for the tools or whatever. But this looks like a machinist made this box because of these end mill tracks in the bottom here. And he had some height issues there or something, I don't know what. But it looks like he whittled it out of there. And so I think this was a shop project or a personal project. And okay, so what woodworker, you know, a woodworker would have given you some finger grooves so that you could get at it, okay, or some feature that would allow you to get it out of there easily, okay. This is total machinist behavior here. Is like, you know, I mean, the thing can barely, okay, it doesn't move. It can't even move, so that's complete machinist. Not that woodworkers do sloppy work or whatever, but they've made a lot of boxes, okay, and boxes have little features so that you can get things out of, and et cetera, et cetera. So anyway, I would be willing to bet that this is a homemade one. Now it might be kind of fun to do a little checking on this thing and see, you know, how well, you know, how flat it is and the center distance on the rolls and things like that before we use it. So anyway, I got that. So. And then the drills, and then we're going to pull up some other stuff and look at some other stuff. All right, next item here is I picked up some more pins. Now these, I'm pretty good with pins right now, but this is something I didn't have, and this is excuse me, this is a set of metric pins, okay, that goes from, what is that? 1.52 millimeters up to 7.7 millimeters, and it's a complete set, and it's by Meyer plug gauges, okay, and these are minus pins, okay. Anyway, I don't have any metric pins, and so the bar, you know, was a fairly reasonable price, so I didn't went ahead and put it in my pile. I said, hey, what the heck, you know, pins are pins, right? And this probably bridges some increments that my inch pins don't have. And I do a little bit of metric work, and maybe you need a 4 millimeter pin or a 6 millimeter pin or whatever. So it's kind of nice. Anyway, I picked up those. And they're in good shape. There's no corrosion on them, and they don't look like they've been used much. And they had some of this corrosion inhibiting wrap in here. This gives off a vapor that keeps things from corroding. So anyway, that was part of that tool sale. All right, so the next items were part of this tool sale. Let's just drag it out and we'll just kind of look at them here. And these tools have some character here. Take a look at these. Alright. And there's one more, but I'll show that separately because it's getting kind of crowded here. What these are metal spinning tools. So they're used on a spinning lathe, and there's a bar that has a pin, and you lever this against the pin to put force on the metal, and then these are normally polished, you know, very highly polished, and then you can work the sheet metal with these. These are kind of they've been sitting around for a while, and so there's a spoon-shaped one there. Okay, this one here, this is a trimming tool, so it's got a cutting bit in there, so you can go in there and score it and trim an edge and chamfer an edge or whatnot. And here's holes for these pins to drop into. And it's got an old piece of a canvas hose around it or whatever, something like that. So these are pretty old. And I mean, just look at the patina on those handles, right? If those could tell some stories, that would be pretty neat. And this one's, yeah, they all seem pretty solid. Now that's copper there. So I'm not sure why you would use copper. I haven't done any metal spinning, so this is kind of new territory for me. And I'm kind of excited about it because one of the lads that you met in a video that came out to Horse Trade, his name is Jeff, and he has a YouTube channel and a blog, Monkey Like Shiny. He has a spinning lathe. So I immediately, when I saw these, I said, oh, because I don't think he has any tools to go with his spinning lathe. So I said, hey, geez, you know, I'm going to get these tools, and then maybe Jeff will be up for doing some experimentation on his spinning lathe. So we might get into that a little bit. There's another copper one or brass one or something. And then this one here I think is for forming a beaded edge here. And I don't know if this is to slow it down or lubricate it. I'm not sure how that's used. So we might talk to somebody that's done some spinning, and they can comment on some of these tools. Anyway, I picked them up. It was a good price, and it was cheap. And so I said, hey, let's get them, and then we can play around with that. So so let's see. Let me move this, and then we will. She'll just do it. Get these out of the way. And here's the kind of important part. This is the tool post. Okay, so this mounts to the lathe, and you can move it around and slide and do all that, and then rotate this and get it right where you want it in relation to the work. And you can see here, this thing has seen a bunch of use, right? And the way this gets used is, in fact, you see that they've done some weld buildup on that, okay? And my guess is that's the spot that's levering against that, because you're doing this, and then you move the pin, and then you do that some more. So we see the wear here, and I'd be willing to bet that this tool wore there, or they wanted something hard that was slippery, so that they could work against that. So anyway, I don't think Jeff's lathe has some fun stuff in there. I don't think his lathe has a tool post, so this is kind of probably good for him too. That, you know, this is maybe a missing piece to his machine. So not the exact missing piece, but he doesn't have one, and pretty soon he'll probably have one. So, so maybe we'll wipe these down a little bit. Maybe we won't. But we got some metal spinning in our future here at some point. Okay, so the last one is this guy here. This was part of that tool purchase. And this is a Do More tool post grinder, okay? And it's a small one, which is kind of nice. It's a good size, and it's got the little height adjuster and the whole thing here. And I got a bunch of pulleys and arbors for this. So there's some, I don't know why it's got a cord on it, but it's kind of funny because a couple of them have cords. So this is a little collet one here, and this will screw on. So you can put very small mounted stones in there and do ID grinding with it. And these arbors here are to extent, well, that's probably not a good example. You can put different size wheels on, and you can reach into a bore or something like that with things like that, or a little collet set up like that. And then these are pulleys here, different to change the speed of the unit, you have to change pulleys, and it's got, you can see they're crowned, so the belts track on them. Okay, so we got a bunch of pulleys, small one there, yeah, a couple the same size. It may be, it has a belt on it now, but it may be missing another belt. Now this is a facing washer here that probably goes on a disc like that, and I think there's only one of these. There's a couple on that, but there's only one in this diameter, so I'd have to make another one or something. And that is probably a riser for this to change the center height for maybe a different machine. Not quite sure what that is. It's got a number on it. It says R235, so I don't know. I don't know what that means. So that was part of that that tool purchase that I made. Okay, so I just wanted to, without those other guys here, I just wanted to thank Tom Zelickman again for this wonderful sign that he made, and Chuck and Dave helped me hang this up, and I think it looks pretty good there. I like the wood showing through, it's kind of neat that way, and he did a really nice job with this, and we kind of went back and forth a few times on it, and because he wanted me to have some input in it too, and I really appreciate that. So anyway, that's kind of the finished product there. It looks pretty cool, and that's kind of mimicking the little pin, the ox pin. Anyway, so the other thing I wanted to mention here too was another viewer in Southern California turned me on to this stuff here. And it's not the spray bottle, it's the stuff that's in this spray bottle. And, you know, and I've showed a little bit of, you know, cleaning machinery. Some, you know, people have asked me about, gee, how do you clean a really ooky machine, right? And get it into usable condition and looking reasonable without, you know, grinders and sanders, right? Well, there's some tricks. But John Marcus turned me on to this particular material here, and it's available at Home Depot. And this is the stuff. It's Zep heavy-duty floor stripper. And you know, normally I probably would just walk by this stuff at Home Depot and not really give it much attention because you know I use Simple Green and it works pretty good, right? Well, this is probably at least twice as good as Simple Green for cleaning machines, I should say. The smell's not too offensive, and it's about $9 a gallon, so it's relatively cheap. So what we're going to do is I have a machine over here that you guys don't see very often, which is my Big Johnson saw. And I haven't really spent any time cleaning it, and I'm about to build a rolling cart for it. So what better time than to kind of fix it up a little bit when I build a cart for it and do all that. So, but it happens to be the dirtiest piece of equipment in here right now. So we're gonna squirt some on there and give it a little rub and see what happens, and you guys will get to see that. So anyway. If you're needing to clean a machine, check that out. Works really good. John, thank you very much for the spray bottle and half a bottle of stuff. This stuff is great. So let's go check that out. Okay, so we're over here. This is the old Johnson saw that I haven't really spent any time with yet. But we're gonna test the Zep stuff out on this machine here. So I'm just going to spray some on here, just kind of randomly, and you know we're going to give it a minute to do its business there. Give it a little coating, and the smell is kind of janitorial, or and you can already see it's working there. Okay, I'm going to let it sit. It's got like I said, a janitorial smell to it. Actually, I'm going to squirt a little on this rag too. I'll let it sit for a sec while I chat here. Anyway, traditionally I've used Simple Green for these kinds of operations here, but after John turned me on to this stuff here, I think I've really kind of changed my tune a little bit. Okay, and you can see why. I mean, this is pretty damn effective. So, if you want to clean a machine, I think this is the stuff, guys. I mean, look at that. Okay. It's the low elbow grease kind of effort here, and I'm not trying very hard. You know, this is gunk that's been on here for a while, right? So I think you know, like I said, I've changed my tune a little bit on machine cleaning. Yeah, wow. So here's what happens: is you start something like this, and guess what? You never stop. You just keep going until the machine's clean. That's usually what happens. You go over to try something on it, and it kind of works, and then you kind of go nuts, and pretty soon you got a clean machine. So anyway, so this thing will get a bath with this, and we're going to build a stand for this eventually too. I got some tubing and some wheels and some other stuff that we're going to make into a nice stand, so I can get this thing off of the pallet and wheel it around and, you know, use it where I want to use it. Okay. Anyway, I think you get the idea. Pretty effective stuff, right? Anyway, thanks to John Marcus. He kind of test drove this material and pointed it out to everybody. And I think the results kind of speak for themselves when we see this. Okay. Anyway. Okay, so here's just a quick walking video tour. This is Newman Metalworks. There's my new little LeBlanc tool and cutter grinder there. Recent Crump apron brake, 8 foot, I think. Welding area. Spin this way here. Kind of look back. Big belt sander there. 2-inch by, I don't know, 10-foot belt, something like that. See if I can get through here without tripping and falling down. Some post vices here. This one's pretty cool. It's kind of got a quick release thing here, so you can come up to it with hot metal and then just bang it closed, and then give it the last little bit there with the hand crank. That post vise is for sale actually too. Some of John's lamps. Layout area. Machine shop.